Admiral Vax tour, the humans have dispatched their 7th fleet. Estimates suggest arrival in the Proxima system within 36 hours. I sighed, tapping my primary appendage against the command console. What a complete and utter disaster this had become. The High Council was going to have my head tentacles for this. Literally. They'd probably mount them on the wall of the Grand Assembly as a warning to other admirals about the dangers of underestimating primitive species. "How many vessels?" I asked, keeping my voice steady despite the growing dread in my secondary stomach. Lieutenant Zorpak consulted his data pad. 417 warships, sir, plus support craft. And, preliminary scans indicate they have retrofitted 93 civilian cargo haulers with military-grade weapons systems. Cargo haulers? They are sending cargo haulers into battle? Yes, sir. Very large ones. I closed all 3 of my eyes and counted to 10, a calming technique I'd learned from studying human meditation practices. And what, pray tell, would humans need enormous cargo ships for in a combat scenario? Zorpak shuffled uncomfortably. Our intelligence suggests they are coming to take their canines back, sir. All of them? I barked, my voice rising despite my best efforts. It's that appears to be their intention, Admiral. I slumped back in my command chair. How had it come to this? The great dominion of the 7 suns, the most advanced civilization in this spiral arm of the galaxy, they're about to go to war with a species that had only achieved faster-than-light travel less than a century ago. Over pets. Furry, slobbering, tail-wagging pets. Let me back up and explain how this monumental blunder occurred. My name is Admiral Vax Tour of the 7th Expeditionary Force, Science Division. 8 solar cycles ago, I was tasked with gathering biological specimens from promising worlds for the Dominion's Grand Xenobiological Catalog. Standard procedure: observe, collect, categorize, and move on. Earth was merely planet G7729 to us then, unremarkable except for its unusual biodiversity. My team had been conducting routine collection operations for months without incident. We'd gathered samples of everything from deep-sea creatures to high-altitude avian species. The humans never noticed. Our cloaking technology was far beyond their detection capabilities, or so we thought. "You look troubled, Admiral," came a voice from the doorway of the command center. Dr. Kelna Zhu entered, her lab coat immaculately white against her blue-tinted scales. As our chief xenobiologist, this entire fiasco was technically her fault, though I'd never say that to her face. Kelna had 4 arms and could strangle me with 2 while still taking notes with the others. Troubled? No, Doctor. I'm absolutely thrilled that we have provoked the first interstellar war in 3,000 years because you couldn't resist taking some fuzzy mammals. The Council approved the collection plan, she replied coolly. You told the Council these dogs were autonomous biological entities. You didn't mention they were companions that humans form deep emotional bonds with. Kelna waved a dismissive hand. How was I to know? Their relationship seemed purely transactional. Humans provide food and shelter. The canines provide what? They run in circles, chase small objects, and produce excrement that humans dutifully collect in little bags. It appeared to be some form of symbiotic servitude. I pulled up the latest intelligence report on my screen. Well, apparently these creatures are not merely pets. According to our cultural analysts, dogs have been human companions for over 30,000 years. But they have co-evolved. Humans see them as family members. Family members that they keep on leashes and forced to defecate outdoors? Kelna raised an eyebrow ridge. Their relationship is complicated, I conceded. Commander Preltalk, my tactical officer, approached with yet another datapad. I was beginning to hate those devices. Sir, we have intercepted some human communications. It seems they have a name for this operation. You do tell. Operation Retriever. I blinked slowly. Is that significant? It's a breed of dog, sir, known for retrieving things. How delightfully literal, I muttered. What else? They have appointed a human named General Alexandra Barrett as fleet commander. She's reportedly the owner of 6 dogs, all taken during our collection mission in their North American region. Wonderful. We are facing an enemy commander with a personal vendetta. Kelna leaned over to view the intelligence file. What are those smaller craft accompanying their fleet? Commander Preltalk zoomed in on the images. Those appear to be, one moment, they are designated as K9 units. Small, agile ships crewed by Special Forces teams who specialize in retrieval operations. K9? As in canine? I felt my headache intensifying. They named their Special Forces after dogs too? Humans appear to really like their dogs, sir, Preltalk said with remarkable understatement. I turned to address the entire command center. Has anyone bothered to count exactly how many of these creatures we collected? Lieutenant Zorpak consulted his data. Approximately 12 million specimens, Admiral. The room fell silent. 12 million? I repeated, my voice barely above a whisper. Yes, sir. Dr. Zhu's team was very thorough. I turned slowly to face our chief xenobiologist. You took 12 million dogs from Earth? Kelna straightened defensively. The genetic diversity was remarkable. Each regional variant had unique adaptations. Some were bred for speed, others for strength or sensory capabilities. Some were tiny enough to fit in a pocket, others massive enough to rival our own combat mounts. I couldn't just take a few samples. So instead you took 12 million? We left them plenty, she muttered. There are still several 100 million on the planet. I collapsed back into my chair. Get me the Dominion High Council. Now. Now. While waiting for the connection, I reviewed our tactical situation. The Proxima Centauri system was our primary research outpost in this sector, housing not only the biological specimens from Earth, but also our main xenobiological research facility. It was defended by a modest security force, 2 battle cruisers and their support ships, enough to deter pirates or minor threats, but nothing that could withstand a determined assault from hundreds of warships. The holographic projector flickered to life, revealing the stern faces of the High Council. 7 ancient Dominion elders, their scales faded with age, regarded me with expressions ranging from annoyance to outright hostility. Admiral Vaxtour, intoned High Counselor Thexra, explained this situation immediately. I straightened my posture. Honored counselors, it appears the humans have discovered our collection of their canine species and have dispatched a substantial military force to recover them. These are the primates from G7729? Asked Counselor Mirzan, squinting at her notes. Yes, Counselor. The bipedal mammals who recently developed faster-than-light travel. And they are declaring war over? Animals? Counselor Thexra's voice dripped with disbelief. Not just animals, Counselor. Companions, family members by their cultural standards. High Counselor Paxlor, the eldest of the group, leaned forward. How serious is this threat, Admiral? These humans are primitive compared to our civilization. I hesitated. Technologically, yes, but their determination should not be underestimated. They have mobilized their military with unprecedented speed, and they are innovating, weaponizing civilian vessels, deploying specialized retrieval units. Our intelligence suggests they have suspended all internal conflicts to focus entirely on this mission. Preposterous, scoffed Counselor Vreel Nax. No species unifies that quickly. Apparently they do when their dogs are at stake, I replied. There's another complication. Our cultural analysts have been studying human entertainment media. It appears they have countless stories about lone humans wreaking terrible vengeance upon those who harm their canine companions. Fiction, dismissed Vreel Nax, perhaps, but it speaks to their cultural values. And now we have taken 12 million dogs. The council chamber erupted in shocked murmurs. 12 million? Roared Thexra. By the cosmic void, Admiral. What were you thinking? The collection parameters were approved by this very council, I reminded them, perhaps unwisely. We approved a representative sampling, not a planetary-scale abduction. I decided not to point fingers at Dr. Zhu, who was standing just off camera, suddenly very interested in her datapad. "What do these humans demand?" asked Paxlor, ever practical. "The return of all canines unharmed." And I checked the latest communication, an apology. An apology? Vrielnax nearly choked. The Dominion does not apologize to primitive species. They also request compensation for emotional distress. The council erupted again, this time in outrage. Paxlor raised a gnarled hand for silence. "What are our options, Admiral?" I laid them out plainly. We can return the dogs and attempt to normalize relations. We can refuse and prepare for conflict. Or we can attempt to negotiate a partial return. "Can we defeat them militarily?" asked Mirzan. "At present, their approaching fleet outnumbers our Proxima defenses 20-1. We could dispatch the home fleet, but it would take 14 solar cycles to arrive. By then, I let the implication hang. And if we return these dogs?" Paxlor asked. "Unknown. They might accept our compliance and withdraw. Or they might still demand restitution." Thexra slammed a fist on the table. "This is absurd. We are the Great Dominion. We have ruled the stars since these humans were living in caves. We do not capitulate to threats from lesser species." The chamber fell silent as we all contemplated the situation. Finally, Paxlor spoke. "Admiral, you have operational authority in this matter. Preserve Dominion lives and assets as you see fit. We will dispatch reinforcements, but you must handle the immediate crisis." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving me with the distinct impression I'd been set up as the sacrificial tentacle. "Well," said Dr. Zhu from behind me, "it went better than expected." I glared at her. "If by better you mean they have left me to clean up this mess while they prepare their official statements blaming everything on Field Command, then yes, splendidly." "What's your decision, Admiral?" asked Commander Preltalk. I stared at the tactical display, watching the approaching human fleet. Their formation was unlike anything in our military doctrine, not the rigid patterns we expected, but something more fluid, adaptive, almost like a pack of hunting animals. "Prepare the research station for full evacuation," I ordered. "Priority on personnel. Load as many specimens as possible on transports, but I want everyone ready to depart within 24 hours. "And the humans, sir?" I considered our options. "Open a communication channel. Let's see if we can reason with General Barrett." 30 minutes later, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing a stern-faced human female with short gray hair and piercing eyes that seemed to bore right through me. "This is General Alexandra Barrett of the United Earth Defense Force. Am I speaking with the individual responsible for the abduction of Earth's canine population?" I straightened in my chair. "General Barrett, I am Admiral Vax Tour of the Dominion Science Division. I command the research operation in this system. Then you are the one who took our dogs." It wasn't a question. "Our xenobiological survey team collected specimens for scientific study," I explained carefully. "We had no intention of causing distress." Barrett's expression didn't change. "You stole 12 million dogs from their families. An unfortunate misunderstanding." "My 6 dogs were among them," she interrupted. "Buddy, Max, Duke, Luna, Cooper, and Daisy. 3 retrievers, a shepherd, a hound, and a terrier mix. I have had Buddy for 12 years. He sleeps at the foot of my bed. He helped me through my wife's death. Do you understand what you have taken, Admiral?" For the first time, I felt a pang of genuine remorse. I may have underestimated the significance of these creatures to your people. "May have?" She leaned forward. "Let me be clear, Admiral. Every ship in this fleet carries humans who have lost their companions. Many have brought empty leashes, collars, and favorite toys, hoping to be reunited. We have come prepared to take them all home. I understand your position, General, but surely we can find a diplomatic. You have 24 hours to prepare all dogs for transfer back to our ships. After that, we will take them back ourselves. Bear it out. The screen went dark. Well, that was ominous, remarked Dr. Zhu. Sir, Lieutenant Zorpak called out. Sensors are detecting unusual activity from the human fleet. What kind of activity? They are broadcasting something. Audio frequencies directed at the research station. Let's hear it, I ordered. The command center filled with a cacophony of sounds. It took me a moment to recognize what I was hearing, barking, howling, and yipping, the sounds of Earth canines. They are calling to them, Dr. Zhu whispered, a note of fascination in her voice. And then, as if in response, a chorus of barks, howls, and whines erupted throughout our research facility. 12 million dogs, answering the call of their distant human companions. Oh no, I muttered as alarms began to sound throughout the station. Commander Preltalk's voice was tense. Sir, we are getting reports of containment failures throughout the specimen blocks. The canines are organizing. Organizing? They are non-sentient animals. Nevertheless, sir, they appear to be working together to override door mechanisms. Security teams report packs moving through the facility, heading toward the docking bays. I stared at the security feeds in disbelief. The scenes playing out were impossible. Small dogs were creating distractions while larger ones manipulated controls. Some formed living pyramids to reach access panels. Others had somehow fashioned crude tools. This is unprecedented, Dr. Zhu breathed, watching the footage with scientific fascination completely inappropriate to the crisis at hand. With the level of cooperation, the problem-solving abilities, we severely underestimated their intelligence. Ya think? I snapped, my composure finally breaking. Lieutenant, how long until the human fleet arrives? 32 hours, sir. I made my decision. Begin loading the canines onto transport ships immediately. All of them. We are giving them back. But Admiral, protested Dr. Zhu, the research potential. He is not worth interstellar war. I cut her off. Commander Preltalk, transmit our compliance to General Barrett. Tell her we will have all canines ready for transfer when they arrive. As my officers rushed to comply, I stared at the tactical display, watching the approaching human fleet. Something told me this wouldn't be the last we'd hear from Earth. And somewhere in the research station, 12 million dogs were preparing to go home. Admiral, we have a problem. Of course we did. Why would anything in this catastrophe go smoothly? I turned to face Lieutenant Zorpak, who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else in the galaxy right now. What is it, Lieutenant? The canines, sir. They are refusing to board the transports. I blinked all three eyes in sequence, a gesture of profound disbelief among my species. They are refusing? These are non-sentient beings. How exactly does one refuse without sentience? Zorpak shifted uncomfortably. Perhaps refusing is the wrong term, sir. They are actively resisting, hiding, working together to evade capture. The smaller breeds are creating diversions while the larger ones barricade access points. Show me, I demanded. The lieutenant activated his data pad, displaying security footage from throughout the station. What I saw defied explanation. Packs of dogs of various sizes and breeds were moving with coordinated precision. In one section, a group of small, energetic specimens were running circles around our security personnel while larger dogs slipped away through ventilation ducts. In another, dogs formed a barrier blocking a corridor, growling menacingly at approaching staff. This is impossible, I murmured. Dr. Kelna Zhu appeared at my side, studying the footage with scientific fascination. Not impossible, just highly improbable. We are witnessing emergent intelligence triggered by stress and external stimuli. You mean they are getting smarter because they are scared? Not exactly. More likely they are displaying latent capabilities developed through their co-evolution with humans. The human broadcast may have activated dormant neural pathways. I rubbed my face ridges in frustration. In simple terms, Doctor, they have organized because they heard their humans calling, and they want to go home, but on their own terms. Commander Preltalk approached with an update. Sir, the human fleet has accelerated. New arrival estimate is 22 hours. Perfect. The dogs were staging a revolt, and the humans were getting impatient. This day couldn't possibly get worse. Admiral, came another voice. Junior Officer Trelvor, our communications specialist. We are receiving an incoming transmission from the K9s. I stand corrected. The day could indeed get worse. I'm sorry, did you say from the K9s? Yes, sir, they have somehow accessed our internal communication system. The transmission is coming from Laboratory Block D. Put it through, I ordered, wondering if I'd finally lost my mind. The main view screen flickered, and I found myself staring at a dog, a large specimen with golden fur, sitting upright before a console. According to the species tag visible on its collar, this was a golden retriever. This is Admiral Vaxtour. Am I really speaking with an Earth canine? The dog barked once, then tilted its head. For a moment, nothing happened. Then text appeared on the screen. Admiral, I am Buddy, General Barrett's companion. We wish to negotiate terms of our return. I glanced at Dr. Zhu, who looked positively ecstatic at this development. This is unprecedented. They have not only organized but developed technological communication capabilities. They have figured out how to use our translation systems. I corrected her. That's adaptation, not development. Turning back to the screen, I addressed the canine. Buddy, we have already agreed to return all specimens to the human fleet. Transports are being prepared, not specimens, dogs. And we have concerns about your transport methods. I suppressed a sigh. What concerns? Your containment units are inadequate. No toys, no beds, no windows, insufficient space for proper exercise. Many young puppies and elderly dogs require special care. Was I really negotiating comfortable travel accommodations with a dog? The absurdity of the situation was not lost on me. What do you propose? We will load ourselves in family groups and compatible packs. We require appropriate food, water, and comfort stations. And we will only board if each transport has at least 2 human caretakers. I frowned. Human caretakers? That's impossible. We don't have humans on this station. Buddy's tail wagged once. The human fleet will provide handlers. Allow a small team to dock and assist with loading. You want me to allow enemy personnel onto our research station while their fleet approaches with hostile intent? That's completely out of the question. The dog made a sound that, had it come from a member of my species, I would have identified as a derisive snort. Admiral, you took 12 million of us from our homes. Our humans are angry, not stupid. They want us back safely. Allow them to help, and this ends peacefully. I considered our options. The security teams were failing miserably at rounding up the canines. At current rates, we'd have maybe 10% loaded before the human fleet arrived. And then what? We'd face a full military assault from a species that had mobilized its entire space force over pets. Very well, I conceded. I will allow a small team of human handlers to assist. But they will be unarmed and accompanied by our security personnel at all times. Agreed. And one more condition. Of course there was more. What? Dr. Zhu must issue a formal apology to all dogs for the undignified examinations and inadequate treats. I turned to glare at our chief xenobiologist, who had the decency to look embarrassed. Fine, I growled. Prepare to receive the human delegation. And get that apology ready, Doctor. 4 hours later, I stood in the main docking bay as the human shuttle completed its approach. Against all better judgment, I had allowed a team of 20 human dog handlers onto our most sensitive research facility. The High Council would probably have me cleaning waste processors for the rest of my career, assuming I survived this debacle. The shuttle docked with a gentle thud, and after a moment, The airlock cycled open. The first human to emerge was unmistakably General Alexandra Barrett herself, still in full military uniform but conspicuously unarmed. Behind her came 19 others, all wearing uniforms with patches showing different dog breeds. "General Barrett," I greeted her stiffly. "This is unexpected. Our agreement was for handlers, not the commander of your invasion fleet." Barrett's expression remained neutral. "Where my dogs go, I go, Admiral. The others are all specialists from our K9 Corps. Now, where's Buddy?" As if on cue, barking echoed through the docking bay. A moment later, a golden-furred dog burst through a side entrance, followed by 5 others of various shapes and sizes. They raced across the bay directly toward Barrett. What happened next was educational. The stern, intimidating military commander who had threatened our entire research station dropped to her knees, arms wide, as 6 dogs swarmed her. Her face transformed, eyes glistening with moisture as she embraced each animal in turn, speaking to them in a high-pitched voice completely at odds with her previous demeanor. "Buddy. Max. Oh, my babies, my good boys and girls. Luna, look how brave you have been. Cooper, have you been taking care of everyone? Duke, you handsome boy. And Daisy, my sweet little Daisy." The dogs responded with frantic tail wagging, face licking, and vocalizations that even without translation clearly expressed joy. Similar reunions were happening throughout the bay as other handlers were found by dogs they apparently knew. "Fascinating," murmured Dr. Zhu beside me. "The emotional bonding displays are even more intense than our research suggested." Barrett eventually composed herself and stood, though the 6 dogs remained clustered around her legs. "Thank you for cooperating, Admiral. Now, let's get to work. We have 12 million dogs to evacuate." "General Barrett," I said cautiously, "I must ask. If we complete this transfer peacefully, will your fleet withdraw?" She regarded me with those piercing eyes. "That depends, Admiral. Are all dogs accounted for and unharmed? We have conducted a full inventory. All specimens, all dogs are present. Some required minor medical treatment during collection, but none have been permanently harmed. And your research? What have you done with the data you have collected?" Ah, here was the real question. All biological samples, genetic material, and research data will be transferred along with the dogs. We will retain only observational records of their behavior. Barrett nodded slowly. "Acceptable. Complete these terms and we will withdraw without further action." I felt a weight lift from my secondary cardiovascular system. "Then let us proceed." What followed was the most efficient evacuation I have ever witnessed. The human handlers, working with their canine partners, organized the dogs into groups. Larger transports were prepared for the bulk of the population, with special accommodations for young, elderly, or injured dogs. The humans displayed remarkable expertise, using simple vocal commands, hand gestures, and even particular whistling sounds to direct the animals. Most surprising was the apparent communication between the dogs themselves. Once the first groups were organized, they seemed to spread information throughout the facility. Dogs that had been hiding or resisting our staff came willingly when approached by other dogs or human handlers. How are they coordinating so effectively? I asked Dr. Zhu as we observed the loading process. "Pack behavior," she replied. "It's fundamental to their social structure. What we are seeing is an extension of natural hierarchies and communication systems. The remarkable part is the scale, thousands of individual packs temporarily functioning as a larger superorganism. And their relationship with the humans, multi-layered and complex. The humans provide leadership and security, which reduces stress and allows for more efficient organization. But it's more than just dominance. There's genuine affection, trust, partnership. I watched as a small human female directed 3 massive dogs, each easily twice her weight, with nothing more than quiet words and gentle touches. The animals obeyed instantly, not from fear but what appeared to be respect and eagerness to please. "We have made a terrible mistake, haven't we?" I said quietly. Dr. Zhu considered this. "Scientifically? No. We have made an incredible discovery about interspecies bonding and emergent intelligence. Diplomatically?" She grimaced. "Yes, a catastrophic blunder." 18 hours later, the evacuation was nearly complete. Over 11 million dogs had been transferred to the human fleet, with the remainder scheduled for the final transports. The operation had proceeded with remarkable smoothness, thanks to the human handlers and what I now recognized as the impressive intelligence and adaptability of the canines. General Barrett approached me as I supervised the final loading stages. "Admiral, we need to talk about Proxima B." I tensed. Proxima B was our secondary research facility in the system, housing various other Earth specimens. "What about it?" "Our scans show you have other Earth animals there. Cats, specifically." "Oh no." "General, our agreement covered only the return of canines." Barrett's expression remained neutral. "True. But there's something you should understand about humans and their pets. More emotional attachments? Yes, but it's complicated. Many humans are dog people. Others are cat people. Some are both. The point is, cats are also beloved companions." I felt a growing sense of dread. "Are you saying your fleet will now demand the return of feline specimens as well?" To my surprise, Barrett smiled. It was not a reassuring expression. "No, Admiral. I'm saying you can keep the cats." I blinked in confusion. "You don't want them back?" "Don't misunderstand. Many humans love their cats deeply." But she seemed to be choosing her words carefully. "Let's just say cats have a different perspective on their relationship with humans." "I don't understand." Barrett shrugged. "Talk to them yourself. You will see." Before I could question this bizarre statement, a communication officer interrupted. "Admiral, emergency transmission from Proxima B." "Put it through," I ordered. The view screen activated, showing a harried-looking researcher first standing on end in obvious distress. "Admiral, we have a situation with the feline specimens. They have accessed our communication systems and are demanding to speak with the Dominion High Council." Barrett made a sound that might have been a suppressed laugh. "You see? Cats." "What are their demands?" I asked, dreading the answer. They are offering to negotiate an alliance, sir. They say they are willing to share control of Earth with us if we provide, and I quote, "premium nutrition options, regular grooming services, and unlimited access to elevated resting platforms." I stared at the screen in disbelief. "They want to? Rule Earth? Together with us?" "Apparently, sir." Their spokesperson, a specimen designated Mr. Whiskers, claims humans already serve them as staff and that a partnership with our advanced technology would be mutually beneficial. Barrett was definitely laughing now. "Classic cat move," she murmured. I turned to her in bewilderment. "General, what exactly are these cats?" "Complicated, Admiral. Very complicated. I suggest you decline their offer." "And if we don't?" Her expression turned serious. "Then pray they never meet our dogs." As the final transports prepared to depart, I stood with General Barrett in the observation lounge, watching the massive human fleet holding position around our research station. The ships were impressive, a testament to what humanity could accomplish when motivated. "You know," I said reflectively, "in all my years of xenobiological research, I have never encountered a species with such a complex relationship to non-sentient companions." Barrett gazed out at her fleet. "Perhaps that's because you have been measuring sentience by the wrong standards, Admiral." "Perhaps," I conceded. "Though I'm still not convinced these animals are truly sentient in the conventional sense." She smiled, scratching behind the ears of the golden retriever sitting beside her. "Buddy, what do you think? Is the Admiral right?" The dog made a soft woof sound and tilted his head. "Buddy says your definition of sentience needs work," Barrett translated. and also that your security systems have embarrassingly exploitable vulnerabilities. The squirrel distraction technique shouldn't have worked as well as it did. I stared at the dog, who seemed to be wearing an expression that could only be described as smug. He said all that in one woof? He's very articulate, Barrett replied with a straight face. As the last transport departed and the human fleet prepared to withdraw, I couldn't shake the feeling that despite our technological superiority, we'd been outmaneuvered at every turn by a species we'd gravely underestimated, and their remarkably clever companions. One thing was certain: the Dominion's xenobiological classification system was due for a significant update. And I would personally ensure that Earth and all its inhabitants were marked with the highest possible warning: approach with extreme caution. We'll go to war over pets. Oh, and as for the cats? We declined their offer of alliance. Some powers in the universe are best left undisturbed.